You're feeling awesome on the low FODMAP diet, you're finally symptom-free, and you start hearing about reintroductions, and you're wondering, do I need to even reintroduce? Well, today I'm going to answer that question, and we'll discuss some of the potential benefits of reintroductions and why it might be important too for you. So there are a variety of social, psychological, and physical benefits to reintroductions. But before we start talking about the benefits, what I want to chat about is the purpose of reintroductions. So the purpose of reintroductions is not to add in all the FODMAPs up to high doses or the maximum doses ever. The purpose of the reintroductions or the reintroduction phase of the low FODMAP diet is to help us identify which amounts of different high FODMAP foods you tolerate, or which high FODMAP foods cause symptoms and which symptoms do they cause. So FODMAPs are the large umbrella. Underneath of those falls fructose, fructans, GOs, lactose, and polyols, which incorporate sorbitol and mannitol. Now, most people are not intolerant to all of the FODMAP compounds. Usually there's a handful of them, and there's certain levels that they tolerate before they reach that tipping point. And so our goal of reintroductions is to find which of those compounds bothers you in which amounts. Okay, so the first potential benefit I'll talk about is our physical health. So yes, you are able to eat a fairly balanced diet when you're eliminating FODMAPs, but it can be quite challenging to get all the different nutrients that you need, including prebiotics. So there are low FODMAP foods that contain prebiotics, but a lot of high FODMAP foods do contain prebiotics, which help feed our healthy bacteria or our probiotics within our gut. And by incorporating higher FODMAP foods, we're better able to help feed and diversify the bacteria within our gut. It's also a lot easier for us to maximize a lot of the different vitamins, minerals, and micronutrients that are sometimes harder to get when we're eliminating certain groups of foods or certain foods altogether. So one benefit from the physical benefit side of things is oftentimes when individuals reintroduce, we see a better and increased diversity, and this is even partial reintroduction. So if you have different limited amounts, partial reintroductions and increasing your variety of plant-based foods and some of the higher FODMAP foods can help increase gut bacteria diversity and can help maximize some of your vitamins, minerals, and nutrient needs that may be a little bit harder to reach low FODMAP. Not impossible, especially with the guidance of your dietitian, but can be challenging. The second I want to talk about is the psychological benefits of reintroduction. So of course the low FODMAP diet, which usually we do the elimination phase for about 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes a little bit shorter, a little bit longer, but the longer we are restricting or eliminating, the longer or the more likely chance we have of change fatigue or elimination fatigue. But it's also really hard for our food relationship because it's putting in place some food rules that can be quite restrictive and rigid. Allowing reintroduction allows a little bit more flexibility as well as a little bit more control of our symptoms. We're allowed to have, I don't like the word allowed, but we're able to incorporate a little bit more foods while still managing our symptoms. So from a psychological perspective, we're able to help prevent the development of food anxieties. If we do have food anxieties, we're able to start to challenge them and create a little bit more psychological safety or safety around these foods that we're a little bit nervous about having. And that can take a step-by-step process, and that's where working with someone can be sometimes really helpful because it's nerve-wracking to reintroduce on our own. And again, it can also help nurture that food relationship. So instead of fearing food or feeling nervous about food, we're able to honor our hunger and fullness and how we're feeling, what suits our body well, and enjoy food and love food and use it for social events, which ties into my next benefit, which is our social health. Social health is also really important, and lots of individuals who are following the low FODMAP phase or the elimination phase of low FODMAP diet know how challenging it can be to eat out, eat at other people's places, or eating in social events when you're low FODMAP, or feeling a little bit nervous about what symptoms might flare when eating different foods. Once you've completed reintroduction, you can feel a little bit more comfortable about if I eat certain foods, I know the symptoms I'll experience are XYZ. I also have confidence that if I have a little bit of a flare or a little bit of symptoms, I know how to manage them or bring them back down. It helps to expand some of those social options we have and helps to feel more comfortable in a lot of those situations and scenarios, which we know is just as important in our overall health and wellness. And those are a few of the top 3 benefits, both for our physical health, our psychological health, and our social health, to reintroducing FODMAPs. If you have other ones, please comment below, or if you have any questions or you like this video, give us a thumbs up, a heart, let us know. And I should also mention that reintroducing is important for any elimination diet as well, to again help with all of those factors. The only exception I would say is if you're allergic to a food, and that's through genuine IgE or skin prick tests, so that's not some of those food intolerance tests. And the other one I would say is if you have celiac disease, we do not want you reintroducing. Again, that is not an intolerance such as FODMAP, but for others, say food eliminations, we're wanting to eliminate and reintroduce. So that would be FODMAPs as well as food chemical reintroductions. So thank you all for listening today. Let me know if you have any other questions or if you have any other benefits for yourself. Perhaps you've already reintroduced and you've noticed some benefits. Let us know and share your experiences. It's a really tough part, if not sometimes a really challenging part. I know elimination's tough, and then the reintroductions, although freeing, can also be really challenging. So I love to hear how it went for you guys. Okay, take care.